as has been all over the news for the last several days, when the Department of Justice didn't turn over all the Epstein files and redacted hundreds of pages, complete pages from what should have been turned over as required by a court order, it became abundantly clear that it is a criminal and corrupt organization. Why do I say that? I'll come to that in a minute. But there's federal legislation. It's the something like the Epstein Files Transparency Act, which is required to turn over all the Epstein files from the Department of Justice. There was already a court order to turn over the grand jury materials from a federal district court judge in the Southern District of New York, to do it in a name searchable way with some exceptions of what can be redacted. Apparently, what they turned over on Friday, and again, the more material was turned over last night, is heavily redacted. And there were two, one a picture and another document that referred to Trump, that were originally posted and then taken down by the Department of Justice with no justification whatsoever. With respect to the latest turnover material, the Department of Justice, in a highly unusual statement, said that there's no evidence essentially that Trump did any wrongdoing. So now they're becoming judge, jury, and non executioner all at once. They were simply ordered to turn over the materials, let people look at them, and not, they weren't asked for their opinions on it, because we know what this corrupt group, we know what their opinion is because they've been hiding these documents all along. But what are they, if this had been a court order instead of legislation, if a judge had ordered a party to litigation to turn this over and this is their response, they'd be held in contempt of court. They'd be held in civil or criminal contempt of court, because it doesn't come close to complying with what has been ordered to be turned over. And judges are not happy when people don't do what they're told to do and ordered to do. If I had done this as a defense lawyer, I'd find myself sitting in jail for contempt of court, and the client, if they'd not turned them over, they'd be finding themselves with a judgment against them as a punishment by the district court, because when you don't turn over materials, the presumption is that A, you're hiding things, and B, that they're saying things that you don't want to become public. And this is what's happening with Trump. We've seen on some of these documents that one young lady had accused Trump of raping her. There's documents, FBI, that he appeared on the Lolita Express, which is the Epstein plane, which parenthetically Trump now owns, as I understand it. He bought it a lot more times than he'd ever admitted to. He traveled on it alone with a 20-year-old, apparently. He traveled on it with his family. He traveled on it with Epstein, with young women. There's a letter that of some, I suppose, questionable origin from Jeffrey Epstein to Nadler, I think his name is, who had been the wrestling coach, or not wrestling coach, but doctor at Michigan State, who was accused and found guilty of abusing multiple women there, where Epstein talks about Trump. Now, there's been some question as to whether or not that's an Epstein letter, and apparently it had undergone forensic analysis, but the result of this analysis has not been made public, so you can only assume that it's uh, probably against Trump's interest to have that document, that analysis produced. Uh, but this is only scratching the surface of what's been released, but more importantly, what should be released. I think two things should happen. I think Congress should hold the Department of Justice in contempt of court, and I think that they should go back to the federal district court in the Southern District of New York, who issued the order to release the uh, uh, grand jury materials, to hold them in specifically in contempt of court there because they blocked out virtually everything on those grand jury materials. But I'd ask the federal district court for a declaratory judgment that an independent master be assigned to immediately go over all these files, hire outside counsel to go through the hundreds of thousands of pages of files within the next 30 to 60 days, and that effort should be paid for out of the Department of Justice budget. If anybody trusts the Department of Justice now to do what is, quote, right or obligated under the law, there's something wrong with you, because they've done everything and they can to stonewall and protect Trump. Keep in mind, and I've known a lot of very good Department of Justice lawyers who are good people. They're good lawyers, they're honest, they have integrity, and they do what's right, even, or what they think is right, even if I disagree with them by representing clients otherwise. This is not this Department of Justice. They think they're Trump's lawyers, and they speak out of both sides of their mouth simply to protect Trump.